Thought I would do a little video of our solar vacuum setup we've got going on. So we got a solar controller, 2 panels, so they feed into here, and then from there power comes and goes to the batteries, which these are just ones that I had from my boat, and then it runs into this Inkbird, and that sets your temperature. So you can set that so it does an on and an off based on what temperature it is outside. So if it isn't hot enough out, this pump's not going to run because your syrup's only going to run, or your sap's only going to run, sorry, when it gets to be warm enough out. And then from that controller lets your power go to your pump. We're running the SureFlow 4008. You got a vacuum gauge on there. Running, what are we? Like 13.5 vacuum. Sometimes I like to run a little bypass that sucks out of the bottom of the tank. It just kind of helps get the pump going, and then you turn it off and then the pump just seems to pull and do its thing on its own. From there it runs in and goes into this hose and then goes into this tote. We generally collect every single day. We got what, 125 gallons? So we collect every single day so that it doesn't sit out here too long in the sun. Then we take it back to the house, which is just over yonder. And in the house we run a reverse osmosis, and then we bring it back out here and we boil. So last year when we ran this, what we did is we ran all of our lines into fittings like this, and all just on the 5/16. This year we decided to change it up, and we're running a 3/4 inch poly main, and then we have some saddles, and then our 5/16 comes into it. We've tried to keep it kind of around 10 taps per kind of 5/16 run. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but that's kind of just what we wanted to do. But then we come around and run, it's a 400-foot piece of poly pipe, and then we've got right now currently 125 taps running into it, and it seems to be working really well. It didn't freeze last night, so we're not getting kind of as much of a run as we want today, but it's, you know, it is what it is. We'll see if we can get some, but pretty neat system. I'm very happy with how it's been working. I haven't noticed much for vacuum leaks. I noticed when I tightened these guys up the first time, we had to snug them up pretty tight to get it so that they didn't leak. But other than that, seems to be pretty painless process. Also picked up some cable. I think it's 1/8 inch. I got that off Viver, and then just some good old Amazon tensioners, and then I used some of the line to sleeve it where it goes around the trees. After this season is done, the plan is that we're gonna relieve a lot of tension on these lines so that if something does fall on them, it's not gonna rip them off and wreck them and do all of that. But yeah, pretty neat little system, and it's been working really well. Kind of keeps going. We can walk it. Keeps going in and back. We tapped soft maples, hard maples, and basically anything that's got maple in the name, we put a tap in it. I got some more 5/16 yet I would like to run, but we'll see. Our 2-week forecast is not looking so good for syrup. We've kind of only gotten 1 week worth of collection, but yeah, you can see I zip tied this to cables, and lines coming off all over the place. And it runs to the back, and way back there yet I put a vacuum gauge on the end of it just kind of for fun so I could see what it's doing. Kind of fun. Got lines running all over the place. Oh, I'm getting a little better. Not flowing quite as hard as I would hope, but the weather hasn't really been in our favor at all. It's kind of just been warm. Haven't really had much freeze thaw like we need. So yeah, getting a little bit of that one. But hey, they're all pulling something, so everything is still moving. So, I mean, it could be worse. Could be not getting anything. Got the little helper came out to see what's going on. Hey, pup. I don't think my batteries are as good as they once were. They don't seem to take as much of a charge as I would hope, but it's working. It'll get us through the year.